Coming up, the Georgia special grand jury that spent 7 months investigating the 2020 election will have their findings released today. And a viral internet challenge turns deadly. The Morning Rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Today is Friday, September 8th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Today, we will learn the details inside the special grand jury report in Georgia that ultimately led to former President Donald Trump's indictment. The special grand jury spent 7 months, heard from 75 witnesses, and closed their investigation in December. Their job, compiling any recommendations of charges and give those to Georgia prosecutors. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis would then use their report to indict Trump and 18 others on charges related to the 2020 presidential election in the state. Today's report release should give the public insight on how closely the indictments align with the grand jury's recommendations. The full report will become public later this morning. North Korea announced this morning it has launched its first tactical nuclear attack submarine. Leader Kim Jong-un said the sub will be one of the main underwater offensive means of the North's Navy, assigned to the fleet that patrols the waters between the Korean Peninsula and Japan. While the sub does have 10 launch tube hatches, most likely armed with ballistic and cruise missiles, a former U.S. government weapons expert told Reuters the sub won't add much value to North Korea's more robust land-based nuclear forces. He said the sub is based on an aging submarine model that is relatively noisy, slow, and has limited range. In addition, despite the North's claims, South Korea's military said the sub did not appear to be ready for normal operations. The South said there were signs North Korea was attempting to exaggerate the sub's capabilities. In an update to a story we brought you earlier this week here at SAN, Cuban authorities have arrested 17 people in connection to an alleged human trafficking ring. The goal of the ring, to lure young Cuban men to fight for Russia in the war in Ukraine. According to authorities, the group's internal organizer was one of these 17 people arrested. The leader relied on 2 people living in Cuba to handle the recruiting. Charges the group members are facing range from human trafficking to fighting as a mercenary to hostile action against a foreign state. Potential sentences from these charges could be anything from up to 30 years in prison to the death penalty. Despite its close ties to Russia, Cuba maintains that it has no part in the war in Ukraine. Cuba said it rejects the use of its citizens as mercenaries. Back here in the States, the CIA is making another push to recruit Russians to become spies against their own government. The agency posted a video in Russian on its social media Thursday. In the video, an appeal to tell the truth about a system the CIA says is riddled with lying sycophants. Back in July, CIA Director William Burns said dissatisfaction from some Russians over the war had created a rare opportunity to recruit spies, and the CIA was not letting that opportunity pass. Pocky is pulling its one-chip challenge spicy tortilla chip from store shelves. 1 week ago, 14-year-old Harris Waloba of Massachusetts died after taking the challenge. He ate the chip at school, went to the nurse over a stomach ache, and then passed out at home before being pronounced dead at the hospital. A report is pending on the official cause of death. The Pocky chips are packaged in a coffin-shaped container. In a statement, the company said the chip is intended for adults only and not for children or anyone sensitive to spicy foods or who has food allergies, is pregnant, or has other underlying health conditions. Finally this morning, it's been 1 year since Queen Elizabeth II died. Britain, along with the royal family, is honoring the late Queen and her 70-year reign. King Charles III released a statement saying he is remembering his mother's long life devoted to service. He thanked the people of Britain for their support. Charles and Camilla will mark the first anniversary of the Queen's death privately at Balmoral Castle. The Queen was 96 years old. These are your top stories on this Friday morning. Thank you for choosing Straight Arrow News as your trusted source. Be sure to download our app and get notified each weekday morning when the Morning Rundown is available to watch. You can also find us on Spotify. Just search The Morning Rundown. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.
Sept.